Welcome to the Business Growth Podcast. Today I'm here with Henok, the CEO and founder of HK Financial Advisory. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Leonard. Thank you so much for having me. Great to be here.
Alrighty, so I saw you were ex-Deloitte as well. So tell me a little bit more. What led to you starting your own business and moving away from working for someone else?
Yeah, no, great question. So as you know, Deloitte is one of the largest accounting firms, and they serve millionaires and billionaires in terms of corporations or even individuals. One of the things I learned was that these elite or ultra wealthy have access to companies like Deloitte that have information on how to take advantage of the tax code, how to properly structure their business, how to optimize their tax liability and also increase their wealth. But noticed a gap when it comes to the small size businesses, like your mom and pop shop or small to medium sized businesses. They do not have the same access. And so I essentially took the skills and learning from a company like Deloitte and wanted to give access to the small and mid-sized businesses. Thus, we
Mhm.
created HK Financial Advisory with that focus.
Yeah, okay, nice. And then how did you find the transition going from working for someone else to working for yourself?
Yeah, so it's a learning curve, right? I think as an employee, you kind of have that mindset. You kind of come in, you clock in and deliver your tasks, and you're kind of like clocking out. But as a business owner or as an entrepreneur, it kind of never stops. It's not just purely 9 to 5. You have administrative things, especially if you have a team. You got to worry about making payroll,
Hmm.
making sure your engagement is, continuous with your clients. You can't really clock out because it's your thing at this point. Like you're running it. And then, whatever you bring in obviously supports you, your life, your well-being, your family, etc. So I would
Hmm.
say it's essentially like not fully clocking out.
Yeah. Yeah, I always view it as you need to bring your A game every single day,
Yeah.
essentially. Like if you're not bringing your A game, you're not getting paid, you're getting pissed clients. Whereas with a job, typically depending also on the job, but as long as your butt's in the seat, you can have some days where you didn't really do much, you just looked at memes for half the day and then you still get paid type of thing. So that was also
That
a
is
very
so
big
true.
deal. Um, and then
But
so tell us.
100%, yeah. Good.
Yeah. And then so tell us a little bit more, what do you guys do at HK Financial Advisory?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, HK Financial Advisory, we help business owners, especially mid-sized and small business owners, legally save 5 to 6 figures in taxes. So, through proactive tax planning and
Hmm.
not just tax prep. So, we're a full CPA firm, a full suite. So, we do tax, the advisory, the bookkeeping, and consulting as well. But our main focus now is ensuring business owners and high-income professionals and or entrepreneurs are legally informed on how to save on taxes, and we do provide the tax plan for them to save at least 5 to 6 figures in taxes annually and every year going forward. And
Yeah,
so
nice.
I
Mhm.
would say our approach is in unique that it kind of functions like a virtual family office, because also we have partnerships with advisors, like financial advisors. So like I'm a CPA. I obviously cannot tell you where to invest on how to invest, right? Because that's not my area. I can make generic comments like go invest in EFTs or index funds. But so we bring in that full suite through partnerships as well, in addition to like the tax and accounting space.
Yeah. Okay, nice. That's awesome. You're saving businesses. It's a lot of money, can help a lot. And then so what are some of the projects that you guys are working on internally? I know when we spoke last, you said you're possibly looking at acquiring another CPA firm. What are some of the things you guys are working on internally?
Yeah, 100%. So let's see. The probably priority right now is really scaling up the tax planning space. Um, so we've kind of created this model or like success system that we call MATB that helps entrepreneurs and or business owners like cut their tax bill like in a step-by-step strategy. So our focus is really doubling down on that, and then ensuring there's clear awareness, and also, continuous working on our systems to make sure that keeps up as we scale up. Because also we're starting to invest heavily on like content and like the social media spaces, be it LinkedIn or Instagram or like all the meta platforms and or TikTok, to ensure that there's one awareness because a lot of people are not aware of what tax planning is. And so increasing that and then making sure that our internal processes can keep up with that kind of scaling.
Hmm. Okay, nice. And then so what do you so you mentioned like you're gonna doing a bit of more content and stuff. What's the Henego is my thing. What's the plan in terms of the content strategy?
Yeah, yeah. So currently we post at least on the Meta platforms and TikTok, we post I think every day.
Oh.
For sure. And then and like on LinkedIn, we put out really good informational content. For example, here a lot of people don't know that they can hire their kids, right? It's like if you hire your kids, if they're under 18 and you have a business, you can pay them up to the maximum amount of the federal deduction. So in 2025, you can hire your child under 18 into your business, pay them $15,750, make that a write-off on your taxes or your as a
Hmm.
tax write-off, and you can use that money to pay your kids, or it could also be money that you're already spending on them anyway, just repurposing it and making sure that they're doing proper work in your business. And
Yeah.
then as a as like a boost to what you're to that, you can take part of that money and invest into what we call a Roth IRA account to like supercharge their retirement, right? So it's just teaching and then finding the proper hooks and the proper education to kind of put this information out there that people should be aware to take advantage of it.
Yeah, yeah, nice. Yeah, and that's a really interesting tax strategy that you said there. I think I've read somewhere Grant Cardone said something about something along those lines as well. And then so how have you found creating the content and how has the results been with that?
Yeah, I mean, so it was, in the beginning we were more referral based, right? So when we were coming
Mm,
into the social media space, obviously there are some folks that probably have a lot of huge following base, but are not accurately like delivering the information or may not even be qualified. It's just like kind of like a bite, bite-sized information that could definitely be misleading. So, trying to make sure we one deliver the information in an accurate manner without misleading people. And then having the reach, we're also understanding the algorithm of like Meta or TikTok. That's been kind of like a learning curve because again, that's just like it was not our space. It was more referral based. Now we're just like kind
mm,
of honing in on that. So that part has been somewhat of a learning curve. It's definitely improved since when we started. We're seeing a lot of traction. We're seeing a lot of activity, a lot of engagement. People are reaching out to us now, DMing us or commenting to learn more. And the other thing
mm.
we started doing is we started hosting masterclasses twice a month. So that's also bringing in more traffic and more awareness. So it's picking up traction, but in the beginning, it was kind of like a learning curve.
Yeah, okay, nice. And then so essentially you're looking to move away from just relying as heavily on referrals.
100%, 100%.
Yeah. Okay. And how has that kind of transition gone now? What percentage would you say you are at these days?
I mean, it's still it's a decent split. Because from the referrals, we still have our client base and they still refer people to us and or partners, like I said, some of the people from the virtual family office. The good thing about referrals is it's kind of like what you would call like a warm client, right? Because they're
Yeah.
coming from somebody they trust.
Oh yeah.
With the outreach through content or like cold email, so to speak, that
Mhm.
one is a little bit of a tougher mountain to climb or tougher hill to climb. But I think today, I still think we're still outweighed by the referrals. But
Uh-huh.
I would say it's about 30% from the cold traffic, I think. So it's
Okay.
kind of starting to catch up, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's like starting a little bit more than what most firm owners. And it's cool that you're doing into a little bit of online marketing. Most accounting firms don't, which I was always a little bit surprising to me. And then so I know you said one of the things when we spoke last that you're looking at improving a little bit more is your sales pipeline.
Yes, definitely our sales pipeline. And again, it's part of the increasing like our engagement, our content, just our outreach, right?
Yeah.
And obviously there's also a process of bringing them into the pipeline, doing your review or your filtering, so to speak, and then making sure, we convert them, we transition them. So yeah, so we're using like funnels now, like we use GoHighLevel, for example. We're optimizing our funnel page to kind of make sure it's clear, the message is out there, the testimonials are out there. And then by the time they at least book a call with us, they kind of have a sense like we're not here to play around. We're a legit firm. We do actually save people on taxes. And then again, I said we have the master class that's another touch point, right, with people or with the cold traffic.
Mm.
So um and then from the masterclass, generally they get an opportunity to kind of meet with us, talk to us, or work with us. So at that point, they're a little bit warmer, right? Because they've kind of already had that touch point with you. So that's kind of the type of things we're doing with our pipeline.
Yeah, right. And then and you touched on it a little bit earlier. How do you find converting some of these people that aren't coming from referrals? Because like you said, is a little bit more colder, people a little bit more skeptical. How do you kind of find that?
Yeah, yeah. So when we engage with there are a few ways we do it. So when we depending if they came through like our funnel, our main funnel, there are some things in there to kind of get them informed of what we do, what we've done for other people. If they come directly and just book a call with us, there is obviously like questions we have to go through to make sure one, if they're qualified, like does this even make sense? If somebody is making $10,000 a
Mhm.
year, a tax plan doesn't make sense, right? So
Yeah.
we kind of go through the questions, and then what we do is from that question, we gather necessary information to kind of populate what tax savings for them could look like. So we'll show them like, hey, we can show you how to save 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, $80,000.
Mhm.
And if that's of interest to you, this is what it looks like to work with us.
Yeah.
So that's
Nice.
kind of how at least they're able to see it and understand how we're going to be able to save them taxes. And then if they decide
Yeah.
not to work with us, no hard feelings. They at least take that information and they can just run with it.
Yeah, gotcha. And then how do you see the industry changing moving forward?
The industry is definitely going to be impacted by AI, and I think it's already being impacted by AI actually.
Yeah.
So I think it's definitely a big shift for the accounting industry. And honestly, for us, it's very exciting because we're heavy on ChatGPT or whatever AI tool that's available that makes sense to us today. So like when it comes to basic bookkeeping or basic tax prep, I think AI is just going to run with it.
Yeah.
The important part is going to be like the specialist or the CPAs or the qualified accountants to focus on like things like strategy, judgment, and creativity, right? Because AI, there's going to be still a lot of learning. So it may know, like, for example, that the kid should be hired as a deduction, but it may not understand like the kid is too young or something like that. Like it may not make sense for that business the parent has. There's just like no really role that we can defend against the IRS, so things like that. So you can get
Yeah.
creative and like, okay, let's put the kid in front of the flyer as a marketing baby to bring clients in or something. So yeah, and when it comes to the creativity and like judgment, the qualified person or the qualified professional will still be there. But when it comes to the basic tax prep or even basic bookkeeping or basic like even tax planning, AI could definitely run with that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's interesting that you said, yeah, some of the little minor things that it might not pick up. And then so aside from like ChatGPT, is there any other ways that you guys have implemented AI into the business?
ChatGPT is definitely our main one. I mean, we use automation, not AI per se. So
Okay.
like with GoHighLevel, there's like, automation with
Yeah.
email automation or Um, I think you have it to like when we set up Zoom meetings, you have the
Mhm.
automated emails, but like,
Reminders.
yeah,
Yeah.
reminders. But like with to GoHighLevel, we can set specific emails to be automated, and we're good for the next 2 weeks. Like if we want to send out,
Hmm.
like be newsletters, it'd be even cold traffic emails or whatever to specific contacts we've grabbed from whatever source. We
Hmm.
use automation there. Another tool that we use that is AI driven. We're experimenting with like avatar AI type tools now for our content or for like our ads on Meta because you can essentially write the prompt and have like an avatar kind of do whatever and say whatever you want.
Hmm.
And so
Yeah.
we're kind of like experimenting with that.
Yeah.
One was Sora. I forgot what the other one was called, but it's in early phases. We haven't like officially like used it and launched
Right.
anything yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen some of that. There was a lot of content. For some reason, I kept seeing like Bigfoot, and he'd be like a vlogger, and he'd be like in the
Oh,
mountains
TikTok, I've seen that.
and
Yeah.
saying just like funny stuff. And like, yeah, imagine you do that, and then it said that he's talking about tax or
Yeah,
something. And
that, hey, I
uh,
think you just gave me a good idea.
yeah, well, it was very engaging. Like I kept like always watching it because they gave him like a really big personality as well, and then it was just really funny, like
Yeah,
how he was.
it definitely has that hook element. It
Yeah,
definitely has that big hook
it was
element.
it
So
was very strong hook element. Like every piece would perform super good. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. I was seeing how you could
you
integrate
might
that into.
you might see an employee, Bigfoot employee for HK Financial Advisory soon then.
Yeah, yeah, it could be. I could be interested. Yeah, that'd be interesting if you can make it funny. Or like one of my buddies, he is also does like tax advisory, and then he would just interview. Like, have you seen like the man on the street videos? And he would just interview
Yes.
people on the street and ask them about taxes. And like one of the things he's asked, like, would you date an accountant? Or he would ask, like, do you think we pay too much taxes? And some of those content pieces got quite a bit of views as well.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Very
Um,
nice. That's awesome.
yeah, and then so a question that I always like to ask while we're on the topic, if you could have a magic AI robot come into your business tomorrow and do anything, what task would you get it to do?
Oh man, that's a loaded question. Let's see. Email's kind of integrated with chat now, so some of that drafting at least is done by that. Um, as a business owner, if I can just kick my legs up and just, have AI kind of take care of A to Z and I just make sure everything is working, I would take that. But to say one big task, um, probably, our content, like content creation, ad creatives, maybe. Yeah, I would say probably around that arena, because preparing the taxes today, again, honestly, I've tested out the agents and AI. They actually do a decent job. So
Uh-huh.
that's kind of already there. So I would say probably like in our ad space, ad creatives, and our marketing side, I would say.
Yeah, okay. So just having it create like the different content pieces that you then post across the different channels.
Yeah. Yeah, that would kind of alleviate some of the what our teams are doing because it just takes time. I mean, like they use like CapCut or whatever to kind of, optimize some of these like recordings, but I still want to have to sit there and record it. And then they have to take it, kind of edit it, caption it, blah, 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 and then post it. Although time has shrunk from back in the days,
Hmm.
it still takes up time because I can have the team kind of do a little bit more back-end strategic type of thoughts and
Yeah.
actions, like, hey, what are we doing in the next 60 days type of thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Content creation takes a lot of time and it's
Yeah.
it's crazy how involved you need to get a lot of different people and you need like a video editor, you need like a copywriter. But yeah, AI is helping with a lot of that stuff. But yeah, it does take a lot of time. Like I've been creating content for like 6 years now, and
Oh,
it's my least favorite thing to do, but it definitely helps a lot, like with nurturing people,
exactly.
and getting new clients and everything. So it's like a necessary thing, but it's probably not my favorite.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. 100%. So if I can have AI kind of take care of that, and once the clients come in or the cold traffic prospects, then we kind of kind of take them through the pipeline. Or even that, to be honest, have the AI start doing like the sales calls or even from, converting the clients. And that would be awesome too, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, yeah, there's a couple of stuff like that depending on what you're looking
Really?
for. Yeah.
Oh,
Um
that'd be interesting to hear more about. Yeah. And it
yeah,
sounds
yeah.
natural, like the conversations sound natural, and they kind of just walk them through that pipeline, be like, hey, this is what your tax savings could look like, type of thing.
Yeah, something like that. It's not going to sound 100% like a human. You would still be able to tell this is AI, and it's probably better to be upfront about that.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of stuff like some of my like people I'm working with, they have it and it's closing deals with just like the AI thing. So it is a
Wow.
possibility. Yeah. if you
Okay.
set it up correctly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so what's on for the rest, like the next couple of months for your business? What are some like the goals or things that you guys have?
Yeah, great question. So, we still have our masterclass that we're gonna do twice a month. So, what is it? We're
Mhm.
gonna jump to December. I think we have one next week, and we either have two more or one more because,
Mhm.
with it after 3 weeks after that. Then we're gonna start strategizing how we're gonna get ready for tax prep season. That's
Mhm.
essentially late January all the way to kind of like mid-April for us.
Yeah.
And then you have the late filers that coming after that, and then extensions, etc. But gearing up for tax season, so that's we're gonna go ham on Google Ads now, and then pushing out more content to get leads as well. So that's probably going to take up a lot of our time and still focusing on strategically on tax planning and then make sure that people are aware about that. So I would say
Yeah.
those things are probably top of mind for us now.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I know tax season is going to get pretty busy for you guys.
Yeah, yeah.
And then so I know we're starting to run out of time here. So another one question I always like to ask as well, what are some of like your favorite quotes? Or do you like just one favorite quote or favorite
Yes,
quotes
definitely.
or maybe like mindsets that you have as well, or any of those things is always
Oh,
interesting.
100%. Um, how does that go? In the saying either goes God is on the other side of fear or
Mhm.
your destiny is on the other side of
Mhm.
fear.
Yeah,
That's like, especially, yeah, that's just like one of the things I resonate with.
yeah,
Um, the other one I just grew up on essentially, especially since high school, is fail failure is not a mistake if it's a learning experience.
yeah.
And
Nice.
let's see if I can come up with I can remember a third one. I'll say this is something my dad always says. Early to rise, no, early to bed, early to rise makes a man rich and wise, I think. So
That's
that's
a
more a
pretty good
little
one
bit
as
of a
well.
jovial one, like a funny one, but
Yeah.
especially the first one resonates a lot with me. Like God or your destiny's on the other side of fear.
Yeah,
Um,
no, I really like that one as well. And like a flip way I say is like, what would you do if you weren't afraid? And then
exactly,
it like,
100%. That's a great way to
yeah,
say it too. Yep, yep,
yeah, and then it just opens up like the possibilities of what you would think. So yeah, that's what I would say is definitely one I do a lot as well.
yep, yep. I mean, and I will say, when I was about to jump as a business owner, I mean, you have
Mm.
your anxiety, your questions, your like
Oh yeah,
doubts, like, what if I
yeah,
don't make this? What if this doesn't work out? What if that? What if this? And then
yeah,
I listen to podcasts, mentors, and they just like everybody started somewhere. Like they start with one, and then they jump that gun
yeah.
of trying to overcome that fear, and they got to where they are. So yeah,
Oh yeah.
100% resonate with that.
Yeah, 100%. It's a really good one. Well, it's been great having you on the show. We can keep going a lot longer,
I
but
know, right?
where can people go to find a little bit more about you and what you guys do?
Yeah, no, that's a great point, and it was a really pleasure talking to you, man. I really enjoyed our conversation. Hopefully, we can do this more. So, on the social platforms like Instagram and TikTok at HK Tax Wiz, that's the handle HK Tax Wiz. On LinkedIn, it's Henok Henok Kebede Kebede, comma CPA, and then our funnel page is yourtaxsavingsblueprint.com.
Mhm.
Yourtaxsavingsblueprint.com.
All right, awesome. I'll include those links in the show notes below. Appreciate you coming on. You guys have been listening to the Business Growth Podcast. Until next time, keep growing.